Tusatit, I've been asked by a lot of people to paint the scenarios of the election after the election. What kind of government would we have? It's not an easy one, but I think there are, say, 2 or 3 scenarios, possible scenarios that we could predict. With some
what is your favorite one?
Well,
what is your wishful scenario?
My wishful scenario is no violence, peaceful transition. Election results will be that one of the major parties win, hands down, 300 seats, one-party government, the rest becoming nice, gentle, but forceful opposition, proper checks and balances, and we can have a proper democracy.
Yes.
But that is not going to happen.
No.
From the poll so far, it's a close contest between the 2 big parties, Pheu Thai and the Democrats. And if it happens, as I fear, is that the difference between the 2 parties may be about 10, 20 seats.
Yes.
And we're back to that sort of nightmarish scenario.
That is one major nightmare scenario. No clear-cut winner, and maybe the Democrats was trying to overtake the Pheu Thai party to form a government.
Yes.
And then the same thing that happened in 2008 will happen again. The Democrats lose the election, but not by much, but they managed to bring together these smaller parties and form the government. So we are back to square one again.
Yes. And what is your favorite scenario? What would you like to see?
I would like to see a clear-cut winner, like you say, a government that try to move the country forward. Even the Pheu Thai party, I want to see them win big. And I also want to see them leave Thaksin Shinawatra alone after the election.
Well, that's your wishful thinking. How can Pheu Thai leave Thaksin alone? Or how can Thaksin leave Pheu Thai alone?
They have their lessons. I mean, the People Power Party, they won election big time a few years ago. And you know what? And in the beginning, it looked okay for Kun Samak government until he suggested he wanted to do something to help Kun Thaksin. And then when everything turned upside down in Thailand. So my wishful thinking is that a big clear-cut winner, maybe Pheu Thai party, and then they move the country forward without bringing the past into the present.
Yeah, well, all things considered, I think there are 2 possible scenarios left. One is Pheu Thai wins, not big, say 260 seats as Kun Thaksin has predicted. It needs, say, 1 or 2 small parties to form a coalition.
260.
It's enough to form a single government.
Yes.
But that is too risky.
Maybe they can bring one very small party. And make it
say 10 or 20 more seats from a small party. Then they become government. Democrats will become opposition.
Yes.
The other possible scenario is that Pheu Thai fails to form a government because it has, say, about 220, 230 seats, or 200 seats. And the haggling, the bargaining with the small parties do not work out. So the Democrats get a chance to form its own government and would take along Phum Chai Thai and form the government that is more or less along the current coalition composition. That is another possibility. And the rest, I think, would not happen. These are the 2 scenarios that I think are the most likely ones.
Yes. And the 2 scenarios, what interesting is what happened after that, after those 2 scenarios.
Yes. What would happen?
We don't know. If the Democrats manage to form a government with the smaller parties, the red shirt will cry foul for sure.
Because they think that only the Pheu Thai party, which supposedly wins the biggest number of seats, should form the government no matter what, no matter whether they can get a coalition lineup or not.
Right. And then they have a new additional ammunition because what happened last year, the killing on the Ratchapaksong intersection. So apart from accusing the Democrat of being illegitimate government, they can also bring the issue of the last year tragedy into the political arena also. That could be worse than the first Abhisit government.
On the other hand, if the Pheu Thai party forms a government and brings Thaksin back,
That
the Democrats
is nightmare.
and the opposition.
that would be a nightmare also.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's both options, both scenarios are equally troubling. We hope that whatever the election results, then the majority of the Thai people and all the political parties will respect that mandate and will follow the democratic rule, and that is that whatever the Constitution says, we follow that and let the party that manages to form the government to be able to run the country for a while and see whether it can live up to its promise. So, no good scenario, maybe the least pleasant, or the what is the word for it? Not the bad one, not the worst one, but the least evil.
The least evil.
The least evil choice. We hope we can live with that.